The game is over. The result was a gut-wrenching loss. We're all back in the locker room wondering what's next. That's what it may feel like right now as everyone deals with the coronavirus, including our local athletes. All high school sports in Pennsylvania are on pause until at least April 6th. Sports psychologist Dr. Jared Spencer is like our coach, and he's making his way into the locker room right now to address his team.
And so what I'm saying to people is this is a great time to work on mental health and also sports psychology skills so that when this cloud passes us by, that you would be an even better version of yourself psychologically.
What do athletes and fans lose with sports on hold?
Sports are about catharsis, which means a freeing of repressed emotion. Fans in the stands of the professional athletes, venues, that's really where they can socially yell, scream, and it's okay. And so without that catharsis, that freeing of emotion for the fan, that could be something that some individuals could really struggle with. For the athlete, it's also catharsis. It's the opportunity to emote and to express and to let it flow and let it go in a socially acceptable venue. So without that for the fan, without that for the athlete, what we are going to see is people begin to hold it inside a little bit more, and that could hurt held inward is one definition of depression.
So this time is an opportunity for the sports world to find other healthy emotional outlets. So how do we do all this, Coach? Let's start with our local athletes dealing with the possibility or the reality of a lost season. Spencer says athletes should go through the 5 stages of grief: shock, denial, anger, bargaining, and acceptance. To help get to acceptance, the concept of team is still very important. This idea comes from a blog post by Dr. Craig Seifer, and there's a link to that post on Spencer's Mind of the Athlete Facebook page.
Part of his suggestion there that you're mentioning is, staying connected with our teammates. And that can be done via Zoom, via FaceTime. And it's wonderful to see so many teams collectively coming together using electronic medium to talk, to process, to vent, to experience catharsis. And I really encourage teams to still be connecting like that.
This is a tough time, no doubt, but Spencer does see positives for athletes.
On the other side of the coin for mental health, I actually thought this might be a blessing in disguise. And what I mean by that is it's going to force a lot of people in the sports world to rest, to slow things down, to get a break. And quite frankly, the nature of the sports world has become a go, 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 overscheduled. They all could use a little bit of a break, a little bit of a rest, and this was one way that it was a mandated rest.
Spencer adds that the skills developed now may help athletes when the games and the pressure are back on. Rest and free time are great, but boredom can creep in. Spencer tells his athletes boredom breeds creativity.
This is a real opportunity for us to be creative, to find new ways to develop skills and techniques and interests, and, for example, hobbies. Most athletes don't even have time for hobbies, but hobbies are really good to help us as an outlet to let out tension.
As we all get ready to leave the locker room and take the next steps in our lives, our coach has a story for us. A psychiatrist was once asked what they would prescribe for someone feeling a bit depressed, and this is what that psychiatrist suggested.
To go across the street and find somebody that's struggling more than they are and help that individual. Because nothing makes us feel better than we help somebody else who's struggling more than we are. And so obviously we've got to follow the precautions, but if there's anything that any one of us can do remotely, electronically, from a distance, using your phone, if there's anything that a person can do to help somebody else in need, not only does it benefit that person, it also makes us feel better ourselves. So I would encourage a lot of that.
If you want to hear more from Dr. Jared Spencer, you can purchase his book, Mind of the Athlete, Clearer Mind, Better Performance, and you could watch some of his many videos on YouTube. For SSPTV Sports, I'm Ken Kara.